Good morning, it's Josh here at Mass Gunworks. I was getting ready to do some Cerakote, and I thought I would make a quick video just explaining what it is and how you put it on and why you would want to put it on. So, this is Cerakote. It is a two-part epoxy paint that you spray on. And what I mean by two-part epoxy is you have a color and a hardener. And what you do is you mix these together, and then you're going to use HVLP gun, high volume, low pressure. This is a small one that I bought from Harbor Freight. They're, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks. Pretty decent. But you mix the stuff together, and you put it in the paint gun, and then you spray it on what you're going to put it on. I'm going to show you real quick what we're Cerakoting. This is a pistol slide for a Browning high power. And after I get done coating it, I will do get out of the light here, a quick video about how the slide goes together and how the sear system works, because I just thought it was kind of neat. So we're going to do this one in a color called Graphite Black. It is kind of a satin, not quite full-on matte finish. It's not real shiny. It's I don't know if you can see this gun barrel real well, but it's very similar to this. This has been blued, and it was bead blasted before it was blued. So once you get the Cerakote on, I have this oven that I built out of there's my daughter. Hi, Ava. 300-gallon oil drum. It is lined with 3/4-inch thick foil-faced insulating foam, so it reflects the heat, doesn't absorb it. And then I've taken fire caulk, caulked all the corners, and used HVAC, taped the foil stuff, taped all the joints as well. And then I have a 110-volt heating element for a smoker that I bought off of Amazon for 60 bucks. So I'm going to open it up real quick and show you inside. Oh yeah, it's hot. Trying to get my temperature up. So here's the inside. I've got some hanging racks. I have a temp gauge. And then down there's my heating element. And I don't know if you can see that temp gauge real well, but it is hovering around 275, and I'm trying to get it up to 300 degrees. Cerakote, on their website, nicindustries.com, or you just Google Cerakote. They have material safety data sheets, MSDS, and instruction manuals for each color. In general, they're mostly the same. There are some variances between like the metallic colors, like a burnt bronze or a tungsten, or something like chrome, something like that, are going to be a little different as far as how much pressure you need to use in your air gun to apply it to the material, as opposed to something like just a black or a blue. This doesn't have metallic paint like that. So once we get that sprayed on, because it's metal, we're going to bake it at 300 degrees for 1 hour. Okay. If we were doing like a plastic, we would do around 180 degrees for 2 hours. And if we were doing a wood, I believe it's around 150. I'd have to go look it up to be sure. I don't do a whole lot of wood Cerakoting. What I'm missing here. Oh, mixing. So typically Cerakote recommends that when you buy this tester, it's 125 milliliter. It's all in metric, which is good for me. I'm a paramedic, so I understand milliliters and stuff like that pretty well. But typically it comes with a a syringe. You see, we gotta find one real quick. Yep, here we go. It comes with a syringe with about 12 mLs of hardener in it. You got 125 mLs of material, I believe, yeah. So typically they recommend that you just mix it all together at once. Use it and discard the leftover. I don't like to be wasteful, so they have information about how to mix smaller batches. Like there's enough in here to do several firearms at one time. Just a lot of Cerakote. It would probably fill up the whole hopper on my spray gun, and I don't use that much. If I'm doing a pistol, I probably use 10 mLs, if that. But anyway, the mixing ratio is 18 to 1. So typically, if I'm mixing up, I'll mix it a little heavier. I'll put in like 30 to 32 mLs of the color, and then I'll do 2 mLs of the hardener. And it's just easier for me to measure with the equipment I have to do it that way. So once you get it mixed up, like I said, you spray it on. You want to make sure that it's covered well. When you're spraying this stuff, you want to have your N95 mask and a pair of gloves, because you do not want to touch the metal after you've cleaned it. And the way you clean it, you're going to take and sandblasting is the best. I have a sandblaster, again, Harbor Freight, and I bought an upgrade kit for the application gun from a guy named Mike Tacoma. He's out of Tacoma, Washington. He is a wizard when it comes to sandblasting. Guy knows everything there is to know about sandblasting, and his kit is worth the money. But you sandblast it, and then I have a little container here that's full of acetone. Soak it in acetone for a few hours. That dispels all the oils from the metal. You apply your coating and you bake it. Once you get it out of the acetone and it's clean, do not touch it with your bare hands, because the oils on your skin will impregnate into the metal and it won't stick. So once you get that done, you put it in the oven, you bake it. Now you can use your oven in your house. Just don't tell your wife to do this if you want. You just gotta hang it off a wire hook and suspend it so it's not touching anything, because once you get the Cerakote on there, if anything touches that Cerakote, it'll leave that pattern, because it's paint, it's wet, okay? So you got to hang it and make sure that it's not going to run into anything before the Cerakote has a chance to harden. Once you get it baked for an hour, it's baked out. This stuff is tough, y'all, let me tell you. The information that Cerakote has on their website says that it'll take 55 psi of point pressure, meaning if I take a needle point and I put 55 pounds per square inch on top of that needle point and I drag it across, it takes that much pressure to scratch the Cerakote. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. I mean, it won't rust, it won't corrode. It's got 500 degrees of heat resistance to it. So it's a good material. There's other good things out there like Cerakote. Brownells has one called Gun Coat. There's a lot of different coatings. This one is pretty easy to apply, and it's the one that I prefer. They also have what they call air cure. You don't have to bake it. You spray it on, and you leave it set. And it's got to set for about 5 days, I believe, to completely cure out. That one I don't prefer to use just because of turnaround time for my customers. I prefer the bake on. And I don't have an area that I can consistently keep dust free for 5 days. So I would believe that that's a key. My brother-in-law and my cousin, they do automotive paint, and they said that's one thing that they really have to pay attention to when they're using air cure paints, is having a clean, dust-free environment. So I hope this was helpful and informative. Like I said, when I get done with this, I'll make a video of how the slide goes back together, and you'll be able to see the finished product. So have a good day.